Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews with developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this week's episode, here's your Spotlight. Let's now move on to the Spotlight segment. And of course, we're talking with our friend Mustafa Dogan. And today we're talking about that screen reader, Ferda, Ferda. Mustafa, welcome again to our episode. And thank you so much for honoring us to come to this podcast.
Ben de teşekkür ederim.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. I wasn't expecting for this much of exposure for this app, and that means maybe we needed this in the community.
We sure do. It's a beautiful thing. Let's get down to business here. Tell us about the history of this app. What gave you the inspiration, or what was your guide that made it possible for you to think about, hey, I needed to do something different? Tell us about the history and how you came about doing this.
I think rather than inspiration, it's the conditions, because I'm also blind, and those were the conditions that took me to develop this app. I work in the government sector. I worked in there for the information technologies, and I got retired. I know a lot about software and I know what people need. I was also using assistive technologies, that one has that and the other one has that, and the one that don't have and the other one don't have those features. And thinking of that, I decided to do my own screen reader. First, I made it for myself, but since it's not installed from the Play Store, I had issues using my banking apps. Since this is using accessibility services, I was having difficulties. Then I decided to go for the Play Store. Then people started downloading it, and then bug reports, feedbacks came in, and that's how it started. Imagine it's like a fruit tree where it was only for myself. It was in the garden, but now it's for everyone.
I like that idea of a fruit tree that is out there for everyone to eat. And thank you for letting me participate in the eating of that fruit, even way out here in the state of Washington.
Since I got the opportunity, I'd like to tell you guys why I'm going with subscription model, because you need to spend a lot of time, a lot of efforts, and I'm doing this for day and night. Sometimes I'm taking time from my family, my kids, my wife, and I'm working during the nights, and during the days, I'm spending my time for my actual work. After that, I'm using AI tools to translate the messages that I get from people for feedbacks, and it's really time-consuming. It cannot be just a hobby, in my opinion.
Talking about your wife, you named this screen reader after her. Let's talk about how you came about doing this, and how does your wife feel? I think she feels honored that you name it after her father, Ferda, Ferda. Talk to us about that decision.
She was definitely so happy and proud for what I did. There were some things that we were talking about, saying like maybe people are going to say I'm using Ferda, but it's not just a name. It's the name of the app right now. It's beyond that right now. So we are really happy, and we don't really think about that somebody's using the name, like saying I'm using that, and it's just not using the person, it's using the screen reader.
So even if you don't get her a present for Mother's Day, this is good enough.
I never thought about this, but gift is a gift. Sometimes it's really big. It's really like giving them impact. It's giving them nice feeling, but I never thought about that way. So it's nice that you reminded me about this. I will use that.
Yeah, let her know that it's in honor of her, and this is a beautiful Mother's Day gift to her. The whole world knows who she is now.
Yeah, no, all the world knows her, and this is far from what we expected for the app. Now in Egypt, there is a Telegram group, there's a WhatsApp group in Brazil. There are videos in more than 8 or 10 languages, and they even made me an admin in those groups, and they're sharing videos. I never expected that way, but it's how it is right now.
Well, congratulations on a great screen reader.
It's not even been a month since we are on Play Store, but I can tell you that we have more than 5,000 installs and more than 230 subscribers. It's not even a month yet, imagine.
Now let's talk about some of the features of the screen reader. And I'm particularly pleased with that changing of synthesizers on the fly, something we've been asking for eons, for TalkBack developers to do this. How difficult was it for you, Mustafa, to implement this feature?
Before that, I gotta confess something, that there is something not working currently at all. Like when you're changing the synthesizer and when you're restarting Ferda, it's not taking effect, or it goes back to the system default. But I'm gonna fix it in the next update. I thought about this like an exit door, like emergency exit door, because for those especially using vocalizer, sometimes you lose speech, and all you have to do is restarting your phone. There is no other way. So I thought about this, changing the synthesizer, and you can move away from vocalizer or any other synthesizer which is not working at the moment. But as of now, it's not working as expected. But I will put options to keep it in the default or go back to system default when you restart the app. It was Warren who gave me that idea, saying sometimes the speech is going away, and maybe wish there was a way to change the synthesizer on fly, so it can go to another next synthesizer. You can also choose which synthesizers you're going to cycle from the custom synthesizer settings, and that's how you can choose which synthesizer is going to appear when you're moving with 4 fingers.
Exactly. That's what I saw. And so I like the fact that by default, they are checked, and one can uncheck the ones that he or she doesn't want to be part of the circle when you circle through the different synthesizers on there. And I think that's a brilliant implementation. I was going to mention that. And thank you for doing that. Because when I looked into mine, for some reason, I have 27. I don't know where they were coming from. I guess I got a bunch of other voices in there, some that are not very good for use and as synthesizers. And so I uncheck those and leave those that I know that are surefires.
There are also some functions yet to be discovered. For example, when you want to use an image to get out the bank number, banking app number, or the routing number, or an email or phone number from an image. Say somebody sent you an image, and there are the details in the image. All you have, like normally, you just go and share with AI tools or share with friends, but using Ferda, it's way easier now. All you have to do is just opening the image and scrolling down till you find what you need. Copy email, copy phone number, copy routing number, copy Swift number. In Europe, we use IBANs, but in US, maybe use routing numbers for the bank transfers.
Talking about copying or selecting and copying things, this is one of the pain points that we have in TalkBack for the longest time. In other words, what I'm talking about here is that ability to discriminately select and copy something outside of an edit field. Do you think this is something you might look into later on to see if it's doable with Father?
Well, as of now, we only have copying from the image, and we also have OCR, which can maybe slow it down a little bit. But there are also text recognition and translation. But looking at the copy settings, I'm gonna work on smart copy, where you can select some text from anywhere, and when you want to paste, you will be able to choose what items you want to paste, like words, lines, characters, and sentences.
That's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Now let's talk about some of the features that you have implemented in here. We're looking at something in the recent screen or in the recent apps, whichever language one wants to use. You've implemented something that has the close all. In other words, So for example, if I were in my recent screens, if I swipe down, it says close, and that would close the particular app that is in focus in the recent screen. But if I swipe down again, there's a close all. I think that's a very great feature, because not many people would want to swipe and swipe till you get to the close all, especially if you're on a Pixel phone. And so I thought that this is a very great feature that you've implemented, even though currently it's not working right, as it will say actually not supported, but I like the idea.
Exactly. Well, actually, this is something that I was getting a feedback from a Pixel 8 Pro user who was having difficulties closing the apps. So I thought about this. Though right now it has a bug, it has issues, especially in home screen. You still hear that close all button. But in the recent, I'm testing on my Samsung phone. It works well. And I'm also trying to test other manufacturers in my emulator, though emulators are not accessible at all. But still, I'm doing tests and I will be making it much better. As I said, the engineer knows how car works, but the driver better knows where the sound is coming from when things are not working.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Now let's talk about some features that you have on here that kind of sets it apart from TalkBack. And I want to mention here in passing that I am glad that you have the gestures based on TalkBack. So it's not like someone is learning something new. It's just that you have other additional stuff in here. But if one is familiar with TalkBack, they can pick up this screen reader and be ready to get going the moment they get it going.
exactly. This is something coming from the source code of TalkBack, but still, since it inspired from the source code of TalkBack, there are way more things that I want to do. There is something that I thought about for the iOS users, since I'm also using an iPhone. Going from an iPhone, there is an option in Ferda when you see the options. There's a thing says, "Are you coming from my phone?" So when you click on that, it's gonna adjust your gestures similar to the iOS gestures of voiceover gestures. But I'm also thinking about something way bigger. Imagine you're using any other screen readers like TalkBack, like Jisho, or any other. There will be an option to import your settings from that screen reader, if Google allows me to do that, of course.
That would be wonderful, because I know we got a lot of confused screen readers out there. Karen, I'm looking at you. Really, I think it's a great idea if it's doable, because if one is familiar with something and they want to keep using that, for example, then it's just coming in handy, and I like that idea.
I will need to see that if Google really wants to help us with that, because they have really strict policies. I need to do a research, because we need to have file reading and writing permissions for doing this. But I will see. I also made a benchmark test using TalkBack and Jusho on my computer, especially for starting up and like responding to gestures. Ferda is faster, but still there are things to work on, of course. I will see what I can do for making it way faster, because being responsive is the only thing that we need. And in that case, this is how it is for us, and our opponent is Jisho in that case.
You are right, because oftentimes what we hear is the responsiveness, and that's what people want, especially, when one is using a TTS engine that is not all that responsive. I know a lot of these things also depend on the TTS in use, but one of the features or some things that people are looking for is that responsiveness. And I know we've beaten this to death by people saying TalkBack is not as responsive as the confused screen reader. So seeing what you are doing, if you could make it work a little bit faster than TalkBack and catches up to what people think it is in the confused screen reader that TalkBack does not have, I think that will be a win-win situation.
I can confidently say that, and also the feedbacks tell me that right now already we are faster than TalkBack and other alternative screen readers, or we are competing with Jishui in that case. But it also depends on the phone that you use, also depends on if your phone is mid-range, if your phone is entry-level. But basically, we are faster than TalkBack already, but we will make it even more faster and responsive.
So I have two questions. The first one is about subscription. The screen reader is not free, or at least the basic features are free, but the more advanced features are not. So the first part is, what are the premium features that the user gets when subscribing to the Pro version? Then what's the price?
I want to start from the end. Exactly, we're going to work on country-based prices. When we first introduced pricing model, some people purchased the app, and later I decided to refund their payments, and I also give them an option to extend one more year, so they could choose to extend it for one more year. But we have country-based prices, and for a free model, the basic core features are free, but when it comes to paid version, we have offline translation, OCR, subtitle reading, and also copy-paste features. They will be paid, and also many more to come.
What do you mean by copy-paste features? You mean the ability to append or to copy outside the override boxes? What's the state of this thing?
The basic copy paste is going to be free, but when you want to use advanced copy paste, for example, you want to choose a certain amount of text from what you have in your clipboard, choosing the words, characters, or lines, or even more advanced copying, that's going to be paid.
Now, another question regarding subscription. You know that there are other screen readers, so you are competing with Jisho and you are competing with Prudence, which is the screen reader that you didn't mention. But I will not say that Jishua is really like an option for many users, because many people can't pay or don't want to pay because of the payment system that Jishua uses. But Prudence is not even a paid screen reader. It's a free one, and it has advanced features like the ability to append text to the already copied text, and the ability to describe images and other features. So how can you, or what can you say to people to convince them to subscribe to this screen reader, to this particular screen reader, when there are other alternatives, especially the free ones, and which are already on the Play Store?
I think how I can convince you is that your data is yours, and nothing's going to transmit it to any online services. When you want to do image recognition, when you want to do any sort of OCR, it's going to be completely offline. This is the part where it sets apart. What I'm going to also do is, in the future, that I will add voice dictation services. I really like that on the iPhone. On Android, we are not really there yet, as it's better as on the iOS. But I'm going to use alternatives like basic dictation or OpenAI based dictation. People will be able to choose what they need, and also will be able to download additional offline services to their phones. Since the phone storages are getting bigger, I don't think people will mind 2 or 3 gigabytes of data to be doing everything offline.
Nice, especially if it's going to be an optional service. So, for example, you install the screen reader, and if you want those dictation services, then you just install them.
I call this like a stone era. We are in the stone era still for the app. There are certain things still need to be worked on, but even for now, the translation or offline services we need for the translation for image recognition that we have right now is still can be downloadable. It's not coming with the app right now. You just need to download it.
That's great. Actually, my last question is about translation. This podcast is an English podcast. We have many English users who use English. So what about the translation of the app? Do you use AI to translate the feature names and option names and messages to English? And is all of the app translated to English? And you can also talk about other languages if it's already translated also to other languages.
As of now, I can say that we have 25 languages supported. Though the original codes in Turkish, I still have the machine translation started in English. Then we got the feedback and corrections from other users to have the other 24 languages being translated and being corrected by people. Now English and other rest of the languages are corrected by feedbacks, and I'm still actively working on adding more languages.
Mustafa, thank you so much for coming on to talk with us today, and I really appreciate it. Before we let you go, though, let's talk about availability. Is this available to everyone around the world, or are there certain regions where this cannot be obtained?
Yes, exactly. The app is available wherever the Play Store available is, like say in more than 175 countries. For those who have no access to Play Store, I cannot really help about it right now. And I want to say thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a great pleasure to be here. It's a great pleasure to be here. I want to also say finally before I go that in some Xiaomi phones and some other Chinese manufactured phones, they have really aggressive battery usage. If you want to use Ferda, there might be settings that you can use to add this to your blacklist, like a whitelist, rather than add into the blacklist. I also added some options for disabling the restrictions of battery. And also on Samsung phones, when you're using the phone app, the dialer, during an active call when you want to dial numbers, or during the call center calling when you want to dial the numbers, until the next update, you just need to double tap and long press. As of now, it's not working correctly. I'm going to fix it in the next update. Keep in mind while I'm fixing that for you.
Well, thank you so much for coming to talk with us today. And at any time you want to come back and talk about it with some certain updates or whatever the case may be, you are welcome to do so. And again, I want to congratulate you for making it available on the Play Store, because in my never to be humble opinion, it's easier for most people to get, and making that on the Play Store actually gives it an advantage. Thank you so much. And how do people get hold of you? Could they reach you from within the app or from the Play Store?
Well, definitely. I have a feedback form inside the settings of Ferda, where you can just click on send feedback to developer. You will choose your default email app where will you see my email, and you can write anything, even if you want a language support, if you want any feedback, or if you need any features to be added in the app, you can just let me know.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being on here, and say hello to your wife who allowed you to use her name for the screen reader. And we want to say, blind people around the world, say thank you, Father.
Like, she's already hearing you, and like she's also saying hello back to you guys.
Hey, Father, hello. How are you? Say hello
Nasılsın,
to
iyi
the
misin?
people.
Çok teşekkür ederim. Herkese selamlarımı gönderiyorum. Güle güle kullansınlar.
Thank you so much. I'm doing well. I hope you guys enjoy using Ferda.
Thank you so much. Bless you.